Hi guys. Okay, I'm gonna tell you everything I know about the Karen Reed case trial. This is day one. So we just started with opening statements and a few witnesses. And I mean a few. Okay, so they're in Massachusetts, but not Boston. Okay, so first I have you give you the layout of the courtroom. And this has to be the most awkward setting I've ever seen because the defense sits behind the stage, and the gallery space is like really small, and just everything is strange. Um okay. And then also there's no clock in this courtroom. So the judge wants people to come up every time they have a sidebar, and they have a lot of sidebars. So it happens, you get to see this nice swirling fan all the time. Okay, there's that. Then the judge, then they all have the Boston accent, which is, I mean, it's cool. I don't have a problem with it, but it's really thick. So you just have to get used to it for like a day. Okay. Then the judge quoted John Adams before they started. I mean, this is way back in time. Okay. So, and I gotta say, uh, the state, okay, to give you the parameters, and I've already discussed this, I think, but okay, here's the case. This woman, Karen Reed, is accused of unaliving her cop boyfriend by hitting him with her car. Okay, and the other possibility is, well, I mean, like my dad says, there's a million possibilities. But the other explanation is that he was unalived by someone else who happened to be a cop. And I happen to believe that the thin blue line, okay, what I'm referring to here is that people like cops and firemen will protect their own at any cost. And while I get the understanding of brotherhood and all that, I don't think that you should make someone look guilty just because it fits your cause. You know what I mean? Okay. Um, Number two. Okay. Uh, the prosecution and the defense have both sides a chance to make opening statement. Okay. And in my mind, a good opening statement or closing argument is where you tell a story. You say, okay, we're going to start here, and by the end, I'm going to bring you here. And this is how I'm going to do it. And at the end, you say, okay, I said this is where we're going to start, this is where we're going to end, and I told you this is how we're going to get here. Okay, well, it's a story. You want to bring them from point A to point B to point C pretty quickly and without trouble. Okay? Which means you can't meander that long. Okay. The prosecution meandered too much. So much that I had to like keep notes. And even then I was like, I'm still confused because he was bringing in people that I had no idea who they were. And then he would jump back from like, first he'd be in the past, then he'd jump to the present, then he'd jump back to the past again. And I'm like, I can't follow this. Even if I try, I can't follow this. So I kind of gave up trying to follow it. But I am following the witnesses. Okay. Okay. first witness on the stand was Paul O'Keefe, his brother. And he talked forever about, how good of a person he was and that he would never hurt anybody and all that stuff. And meanwhile, it might be true, and I get the idea they're setting the table and everything, but it's a little much. Okay. Then, and also the questions went on forever. I didn't think they were going to have any more witnesses today, but they did. They had his sister-in-law, so the brother's wife, okay? And then for the third witness, they had an officer from the Canton Police Department because he was on the Boston police force, but apparently the incident happened in Canton, Massachusetts. So we have that. Okay. What they're trying to prove is that she was so drunk. Well, okay, here's what the state is trying to prove. Because, once again, part of the parameters, a slight one. Okay, you have the state and the defense. Technically, the defense doesn't have to prove anything. They just have to refute everything the state tries to put up. Okay? But the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt their case. Okay. The case is that she unalived her boyfriend by hitting her with their car. But also because she was intoxicated, or so they're going to say, and that she knew somebody had typed in a Google search, how long did it take to unalive in the cold? So, yeah. But if the case goes the way the defense wants, they're going to be able to refute everything because the times don't match up, and the way the evidence is going to come out is not going to match up with their story because they're going to say that she did that. Well, okay, the evidence, if she hit him with a car, there's supposed to be marks on the body. There's some kind of injury, something. Okay, the language they used today was his body was pristine. The only marks were on his arm, and they were like claw marks from an animal or something. Not injuries that are not consistent with being hit by a vehicle. That's number one. And that's your biggest argument. And then everything else is to corroborate that one huge piece. So in my mind, if you can't prove that, then I don't know where you're going to go. I really don't. And I do start with an open mind. But when the evidence is glaringly obvious, even from day one, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to prove your case to me. And right now it seems like an uphill battle. So I'm not really sure on that one. Yeah, and this is day one. So imagine it's supposed to last 6 weeks, which would be 30 days, okay? But however, this case is going to be a little differently because they're going to make shorter days and they're going to be off like 2 days a week. So we're only going to get 3 days of testimony a week. That's why it's going to take so long. So, just warning you guys. So yeah. Yeah. But I'm really excited for it, though. I really am. Because I have a theory, kind of already had a theory before the case started, because the way the evidence was just didn't add up. And now it's starting to come to fruition, but it might take a hard left. So who knows? But I'll be here for it. Okay, bye guys.